Good morning, guys. Welcome back. This is gonna be probably the coolest video on the channel. Hopefully, it's got a lot of potential at least. Today we're gonna be throwing some really big bass lures. We got some jigs. We got some sweet swim baits here, and we're at a very special lake. Lake. What's it called again?
Lake X.
Lake X. Yeah,
yes,
yeah. That's what it's gonna be known as. So we're at a very special lake. It's got some giant bass in it, and we're gonna be throwing some very giant bass lures today. And to help ensure that that happens, he was in a previous video that you guys already saw, but I got Geoffrey here with me today.
What's up, guys?
He's been out bass fishing all winter just like I have, but unlike me, he has not been going out skunking every day. How big of a bass, what are the biggest bass you've caught in the last couple trips you've done? You've been kind of killing it.
Just in February alone, I caught 810 largemouth, and then followed that up with a 6-pound, 6-ounce largemouth.
Oh,
two different lakes. Perfect because I was doing a tournament this month, so that's helped me out big time. Hopefully we make one more big call today.
I'm hoping so for both of us. I would like to catch a personal best, and I would like to see you get that double digit. That would be pretty sweet.
I think it's in the cards.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. We got a few things going on with the day that I think makes it a little bit more likely to catch bass today. That I'm not super familiar with. There's some things with the moon and the weather. You wanna talk about that just a little bit?
So in the 6 years I've been bass fishing, I kind of, I used to keep track of all like the moon phases and the barometric pressure, and of course the weather, the temps, like how steady they've been. And today sets up perfect because we are on a new moon, my favorite, and also the barometric pressure is falling right into the sweet spot. Plus we're hitting 63 degrees, so man, everything's lining up.
Everything's lining up.
Yeah, all we gotta do is catch fish.
So this is gonna be awesome. We're gonna go out and try to catch a giant bass on the video today. We've got two of us going. We're gonna be throwing the baits that should make it happen. At least one of us should catch something giant. It shouldn't be a skunk day today. That seems like everything's going in our favor, but anything's possible. And I post any video whether I catch fish or not, so you guys just gonna have to stay tuned to find out. I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty excited to get fishing, so I think we'll leave the intro at that, and let's go ahead and get out there and try to make this happen.
Let's do it, man.
Oh yeah, this is good stuff. Oh man, I love a foggy lake morning. It's just feels like we're in another world. Can't believe those ducks.
I think we just cruise around this side.
Okay.
And then we have the magical cove over there where I caught my 8.
Nice.
Where I had everything packed up, and I was like, oh, I've never fished over here. I'm just gonna go fish over here.
Yeah.
I had my graph put away, my GoPro's off, put away.
Yeah.
And
And that's where it was. All right, sure you can do it. So, as I mentioned, this guy knows what he's doing, and I'm still pretty new. So he's got me a few lures set up that we think we're gonna be our best odds of catching something today. For starters, he got me this big old crazy bluegill swim bait. And you said you caught how big of a bass on this guy again?
The first fish I caught on that bait was 613.
613.
And that is from Red Top Lures, and he's from Washington.
So for starters, with this guy, I've never really fished a bait like this before. What do I do?
You can mix up your retrieve. I like to, so it cranks down to its deepest on a quick retrieve, and you can get it down there, and then you can slow it down. And so what we want to do with those is fish it over the top of grass. So it'll dive down to 4 to 5 feet.
Oh.
And so we'll find the grass edges where it tops off at 4 to 5 feet, and then we'll just run it over the top.
Okay.
In hopes that those bass are eating bluegill out of the grass.
So I would kind of crank it down, get it down to that depth, and then I kind of try to keep it nice and slow, nice and steady.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds simple enough.
Yep.
And then you were also saying that the swim jig is a must. I got to keep that on there. Tell me a bit about that again. You said something yesterday, but I'll be honest, swim jig, when I was using it the other day, I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Well, you had a giant follow it.
Yep, I did have that, so that was good.
That particular swim jig is from Pacific Northwest Bass Candy.
Yep.
It's the faded bluegill, and that has been my favorite, and it's a staple in my lineup. I never go without it. I have my best 5 on that bait is right around, I think, 35 pounds. My first 8-pounder came on that one.
Oh my God.
And it's a very, you can do so many different things with it.
Yeah.
You can fish it in cover.
Yeah.
You know, and it comes through the wood and all that stuff.
I definitely noticed that the other day. That was
can,
sweet.
You know, swim it in grass.
Yeah.
And then you get hung up, you can, you know, and it'll usually clear the grass off, but you can also fish it on bottom and just slow retrieve.
Slow retrieve.
So lots of different ways you can fish that.
Okay, sweet. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you told me to throw a spinnerbait on, and I'll be honest, I feel like I know everything about a spinnerbait, but is there anything you want to mention about using a spinnerbait today? You said there might be a little wind today, and then...
Yeah, so ideally with the spinnerbait for me is, it's a great cold water bait. It's got that flash. It can draw fish in from a distance.
Yeah.
And then with a little bit of wind, it really shines. So I hope we get a little chop on the water, and I think it'll play a big role in today.
Awesome. I've always had it be a top confidence lure for me, so excited to hear that this was a recommended lure to throw on today. So yeah, I think we're gonna start with that. Those are our 3 lures that I'm gonna be focusing on right now, and then we'll see how it goes, but I think that's what we're gonna need to throw today, is those guys. This thing is so cool, you guys. This is crazy. I've never thrown, or maybe I have something kind of similar to this. Maybe I've thrown something like this kind of before, but let's do it. Oh my god, I'm so excited today, guys. This is crazy. This is it. Never has there been so much potential for something crazy to happen on the channel than right now. Alright, first cast. I'm going to give this big old swim bait quite a few casts today for sure, but as it goes with throwing swim baits, can't throw it all day. It's just a little too heavy, so we'll be bouncing around between those other baits as we keep fishing. Some spots will just be better to throw that swim jig, and some spots like where we're at right now just feels like a really good spot to be throwing this swim bait. Get it right up to the grass line up there. I know that some of the bass are really starting to go up shallow, especially today. There's a good chance of seeing them up there. Water temperatures, we're about 46 degrees right now, which is just so much warmer than it's been the last few months. It's like literally 10 degrees warmer than it was just a few weeks ago. You guys can see that swim bait jiggling, swimming through the water there. How cool is that? Swim baits are so awesome. Alright guys, we've been fishing for maybe 30 minutes or so, 20 minutes? 20 minutes of casting the swim jig. We're going to take a quick pause on that. I'll throw in the swim bait, and let's go back to throwing the swim jig. Alright, we threw the jig around for a little bit. I think it's definitely time to get back to that swim bait. This lure is so cool, you guys. This is so sick. Basically just lobbing it out there as far as I can. Try to give it a nice, slow, steady retrieve on the way back. Maybe give it a little pause here and there, but for the most part, I guess a slow, steady is what you're shooting for. We're in 8 feet of water, and this thing likes to dive down to about 4 feet and then kind of stay at that depth. Once I retrieve it back to the boat, I do see it down there at about the 4 foot mark. You gotta throw the swim bait as much as we can today, because, I mean, out of the 3 lures we're throwing, let's be honest, we all want to see it on the swim bait. Alright guys, the sun is literally really starting to pop out now, so we're turning our optimism back on. Getting ready. Any cast could be the cast. All right, guys, we've been fishing for about 2 hours now. We moved over to a different side of the lake. This side's been hit by the sun a little bit earlier than the other side was. Got a few different docks, a few different structures here. We'll see if we can find any over here, and we'll return back to that other side once we fish over here for a bit. I'm throwing the swim jig again. I got a feeling that that's the thing. Oh yeah, we're gonna hear this one. Alright guys, we're about to venture over to the other side of the lake here. This lake's super cool. It's got a big old railroad crossing that we can go underneath here. Opens up to a whole nother lake. So we're gonna go check that out and see if Geoffrey said he's had some luck there a few months back. Kind of stumbled onto a pattern. Let's see if we can, we'll just see if that's still a thing. This is super cool though. I have to go into this little nook here. It's literally singing to me. You guys hear that? Sometimes I wonder, these spots that have like train tracks near them or a road right next to them, whether or not that kind of scares the fish away from them. Geoffrey and I are kind of covering some different spots right now. He's kind of staying out in the middle. I think at any moment, whenever we see him get on something, we'll head over there, but starting to get to the point where we got to start covering as much water as possible. See if we can find where these damn fish are hiding at. Alright, well, we came to this side of the lake. I swear I just casted in some spots that should definitely have worked. But they did not. So, what does that mean? What does that mean? This is the magical spot of the lake. We have saved it for the end. We are going to make it happen now. Geoffrey's heading over to the side where he caught an 8-pounder on this lake, and on the same day he caught a 6-pounder right here. So I'm down to catch the 6, but you know, maybe those bass swapped around. Maybe the 8's over here, in which case I'd be cool with that. All right, let's quit screwing around. It's time for this swim bait. We all know it. We all know it. You're probably thinking it. You're watching me throw this little jig and you're thinking, what are you wasting your damn time for? Alright guys, here it goes. Big old bluegill. Geoffrey sees something. Geoffrey sees something real big. He's going for it. He's wondering if it's a carp, it's so big. Could just be that 11-pound bass that we heard rumors of. But I think the best way to find out exactly what it is for him to catch it. Try to explore the cove just a little bit here. Kind of liking the idea of casting right in front of this dock here with this big old swim bait. Let's see what it looks like. Looks perfect. I don't see anything. I don't see anything that could cause us a problem here. Alright, there we go. That's a pretty great cast. I want to follow Geoffrey. He said something about staying in the sun, and since we only maybe got an hour or so of sunlight left, I'm going to go ahead and take that advice. I think that staying in the sun is probably our best bet. Sun is just about down. It'll start getting dark here in a second. Such a good cast, oh my god. Alrighty guys, we have gotten down to the end. Fish finder's dead. I think we're both about dead too. Let's see how long. We're just about to hit the 9-hour mark of filming on the GoPro, so that was a long day with no bass. That was rough. But beautiful day, awesome to come to a new lake, good time. Got to try out a bunch of new stuff. And just gonna have to come try out again, I think, you know?
That's the thing with bass fishing.
Yep.
You're not gonna get them every day.
Nope, sure not.
Or everyone would do it.
Yep. That's why there's no one out here in the wintertime. I think we only saw what?
We have our tough days. I mean, the fish just, I don't feel like they pushed up to, you know, feed like I thought they would.
Yeah.
With the sun and the little bit warmer water temps. I was marking some huge fish, but those were all offshore. They just didn't really want to eat.
They weren't interested.
It's just what happens sometimes.
I tried hitting the bank hard, tried taking this little finesse craw up in there, and God, I thought for sure he was gonna do the trick there right there at the end, but yep, couldn't find him up shallow, couldn't find him any of the spots that we tried, but we gave it a damn good go. So we'll come out and try it again. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next video.
It's a beautiful day though.
Oh my god, that was freaking awesome.
Honestly, yeah, just can't get much better than that.
Nothing better than when you can go a day without catching a bass and still be like, was good.